For months, I have been dreaming, planning, and romanticizing flea market shopping in Paris. And you guys, I finally made my dreams come true. I have so much to share with you, from my triumphs to my disappointments to the things that shocked me, plus all the things I plan to do the next time I go. Bonjour, bienvenue. This is Come Thrifting with Me in Paris. From all the research I had done, I knew to stay away from the largest flea market in the world that happens at St. Juan. Instead, a lot of people recommended the one that happens at Porte de Vanves. It's in southern Paris, it's really easy to get to, and it supposedly has a great selection with lower prices. Well, as soon as we got off the bus, I knew I was in for a treat because there were tons and tons of stalls. What I did not expect were the prices. So we're gonna walk around this flea market together, but just know, a typical person isn't going to be able to afford these prices. This is going to be a feast for the eyes, not a feast for my wallet. I would go home starving and poor if I bought the things that I wanted to. Like this stunning vanity mirror, priced at 180 euro. Look at all of these little signs. I probably could have afforded these, but I chose not to bring any of these home. These are from equestrian stables, or she might have said horse races. I was speaking with someone who did not know a lot of English, but she wanted me to know that those signs had to do with horses. These little brass frames were darling, but this was one of the first tables I stopped at, and I really didn't want to commit to things right off the bat. I didn't want to lug things the blocks and blocks I was going to be walking, and I didn't want to commit to things only to find a better item or a better price down the road. Did you see that silver and crystal pedestal compo bowl? Ugh, swoon. At this point, I also had a overwhelming sense of just being overwhelmed. There was way too much that I loved, and I thought, how am I going to choose? How am I going to fit all of this in my suitcase to go home? And where is it all gonna go once I bring it back to my house? This was before, of course, I paid attention to the prices and realized, oh, I'm not gonna be able to afford anything here. I will let the prices determine what's actually coming home with me. This was like a classic French painting. She is just so cute. I loved the old oval frame. Look at how stunning these little frames are. But this one itself is 70 euro. You can see by the size of my hand, it's not a very big frame. I think this one was 35. I'm just so spoiled by my thrift stores that I couldn't rationalize spending so much off the bat. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I only took 60 euro out in cash. I thought surely that would be enough. Well, you'll just see. Not only was there a stunning array of home decor, the jewelry was absolutely breathtaking. Look at this little painting. This is one of those things that I really wanted to bring home. I dreamed of finding this stunning, very old painting with a very ornate, chunky frame. Look at all of the old books, so beautiful. Ugh, and everywhere I turned, there was more incredible art. Look at those florals. The history behind these pieces was also really moving. Like, someone won this medal and wore it. More gorgeous jewelry. That's Jackson there on the left with the striped shirt. He was really enamored with all of the old jewelry. It was really fun to look through everything with him. So my son is 9. I wasn't sure how he was going to handle these flea markets because I wanted to be able to take my time. I didn't want to feel rushed. I wanted to film. I wanted to shop. This was my vacation just as much as it was his. I was blown away at how much he loved looking through everything with me. And this flea market was blocks and blocks of stuff. Such a beautiful selection. Look at these painting, the cows that frame those roses. I think I asked about these two and they were 200 euro each. And then look at this giant guy. I didn't even bother to ask. I just knew I couldn't afford it. For a split second, I thought I would be able to bring one of these home because I was completely in love with these oil paintings. 80 euro. 80 euro for one of them. And here's the thing that I'm stuck on. I did so much research on where the best flea markets were, and no one really addresses the price point of these things. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I know I'm not gonna get an oil painting, an antique oil painting for $5, but I thought maybe I would find one for like 40, 50 at the most. I did not expect every single thing to be like 100 plus. I guess if I had known how much things cost moving into this trip, maybe I would have budgeted more. I would have had a more realistic expectation. So I just was not prepared to spend this kind of money when our trip, of course, was already expensive, spending 2 weeks in Europe. This next piece is maybe one of the most beautiful things that I saw the entire time we were in Paris. Look at those colors. It was hundreds. This compote also caught my eye, such stunning colors. And for whatever reason, this is the painting I really wanted to bring home. I loved that little man, but he was 180 euro. I already mentioned that Jackson did amazing with all of the flea markets that we went to, but I want to give a shout out to my husband. He's there in the striped shirt and the leather backpack. He was so great at just reminding Jackson this is part of mommy's job. Would take him for a pastry if he got a little antsy. He just let me breathe and take my time and not feel rushed and let me live out my dream. I was really, really grateful for that. Look at this fish teaspoon holder. It's so pretty. I loved it. Okay, that was intense. I'll show you. I did buy something. I got one thing because it's all I could afford. Did not expect the prices. Did not expect. There was a lot of sticker shock. No one prepared me. When they said flea market, I thought bargains. Nope. So stay tuned. So one moment, before you walk away from this video super depressed like I felt that first day, there is hope. And that hope is called pop-up flea markets. Every weekend, there are small flea markets that pop up in different neighborhoods, different streets, and they are the way to go. Had I known about the pop-up flea markets, I would have completely skipped Porte de Vanves and just gone to these, because these, while there were some more pricier items, this is where the affordable stuff was. And I wish that I had much more time to shop these. So this frame, still 35 euro, didn't want to spend that. But there were so many other things that I found that I could afford. This vintage jewelry table was stunning. Oops, I actually brought this pin home. I think it was 10 euro. I also bought 2 pairs of clip-on earrings. These are fake Chanel, but I bought those and another pair, and I think I spent 35 total on 3 pieces of vintage jewelry. Really not bad. These tables were also a little junkier, so there was some effort to sift through it, just like a traditional charity shop or thrift store, but there were treasures to be found. And I think my son had even more fun at this one because there were some toys mixed in, some more like relaxed items. Like he found Pokemon cards, and I said, dude, we get Pokemon cards at home. We're not getting Pokemon cards in Paris. It's not like they were in French or anything. Like we just don't need them. Look at this piano book. Jackson plays piano. I thought this would be an amazing souvenir to bring home. This is an antique piano book in French, but it was 200 euro. So still, some really, really expensive pieces, and then other things were affordable. Like this baguette serrated knife. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? I 1000% want to go back to Paris, not just for the flea markets, but just to, exist there for a week, absorb the vibes. It just truly feels like such a magical place. And we had a faster pace because we saw all of the touristy things. But when we had a moment to just go to a green space, a park with a cup of coffee and a pastry and just sit, like I want more of that. It's addictive. And of course, I would want to map out a super efficient route with the metro just to get to as many pop-ups on the weekends as possible. I just think there would be so much more opportunity for affordable treasures. Side note, I wanted so desperately to bring this basket home. The fabric, the wicker, it was just so darling. The other thing about this pop-up is it was situated right in front of the Pantheon. So we had this amazing backdrop while we were thrifting and sorting through vintage photographs or boxes and boxes of vintage postcards. This was a whole box of vintage buttons. Like, can you even? So I think I brought home 5 things total from this pop-up and then 1 thing at the other one. I really wish I would have had more time to hit up more, but we had other things we wanted to get done. Again, I wanted it to be fair for Jackson and not just keep pushing to do all the flea markets because it was an entire family trip, but in a heartbeat I would go back. Who wants to go with me? We'll grab a coffee, a croissant, hit up all the flea markets together. It'll be a good time. All right, we're wrapping up this second flea market. It is time to pack everything up, head back to the States, and let me show you what I brought home. Back home to my boys, Elliot and Winston, and the Pennsylvania summer heat. You can see Winston there lying on the floor directly over the air conditioning vent. Have you spotted my first purchase yet? I grabbed that antique compote dish. This is from the mid 1800s. It's lavender transferware from a French company. It is just stunning. It's actually in perfect condition other than that stunning crazing that old pieces get. But like no chips, no cracks. It is just perfection. Piece number 2 is an old postcard that I grabbed at that pop-up flea market. I just adore the old stamp on the front. I really wanted to showcase this amazing piece. So I grabbed an antique frame I already had from a flea market years ago. I just covered the backing of it with a piece of upholstery fabric, trimmed the edges, and then added the postcard to the center. And honestly, I just attached the postcard with a little bit of painter's tape because I knew that wouldn't tear the back of the postcard if I ever want to relocate it. If this seems familiar, I did the same thing with 3 postcards that I bought at a souvenir shop in London. If you missed our thrifting in London video, you have to go check that out. I also had some of my favorite photos from our trip printed. I always use MPix. They're not sponsoring this at all. I just genuinely love MPix for all of my art and photo printing. They do such an amazing job, but the prices are so affordable. I also bought the prettiest little taper candle holder. It's brass, it's marble, and it looks so beautiful styled on our buffet in the dining room. But it also has a little secret. This is the part that I bought in Paris. It's obviously missing some sort of base, but I had these nesting glass ashtrays I thrifted here at home. They make the perfect base for this candle holder, and honestly, you'd never know they weren't meant to be all together if I hadn't told you. I had taken an extra suitcase with us for this trip and we didn't end up using it. And you know what? That's okay. The memories that we brought home, the experiences, it was so worth it. And you know what? I learned a ton that I am going to absolutely use the next time that we go. And you best believe there will be a next time. I wrote up a full itinerary of everything we did in Paris, and I also wrote up all of my flea market tips and tricks. You can find both of those in the description.